Hello, my name is Coco. I'm a health and wellness coach, and I'm hailing from what is going to obviously be a gorgeous Auckland, New Zealand. I'd like to take a moment to remind you to be calm, to be well, and to be healthy. So, yesterday I had a conversation with the restaurant manager here at the Ridges Hotel, and we've agreed that I will be served natural sugars, so no more processed sugar. So there go all the muffins and the berry compotes, and I've also asked, because a lot of the savoury dishes also have sugar in them, I've asked not to be served that type of food, and also the elimination of excess fat. Now, I'm not a prude when it comes to sugar and fat in my diet. I do have it. I just want to be clear, I don't have a lot of it. So, for the first day and a half here in New Zealand, eating the food that I was being served in Jet Park, I was actually okay. So I can tolerate, a day and a half to absolute max of what I consider to be, it's not bad food, it's just food that is high in sugar and high in fat for my body. I would state that the excess sugar that is put into the food would be too high for anybody, full stop. We actually don't need a lot of sugar. And there are so many other types of sugars that one can get. So obviously the fructose that comes from fruit and vegetables, the lactose from milk, galactose from honey and other types of food. And so fructose, lactose, galactose, glucose. Now, glucose is manufactured by the body using all the different types of food, and if necessary, fat and protein so muscle can be broken down to produce glucose, because it is what the brain needs. So the brain will shut down every single part of the body except itself to ensure that it gets its glucose. So be very mindful of what you are putting into your body and read the labels. So in that conversation, we have agreed that this will be my breakfast, and what I will be missing out on is the variety that they're serving. Now, I have looked at their menu, and what they're serving is predominantly, there's a lot of fat in their breakfasts, which for me would be a treat, but this is what I'm being served today. So they've taken away the fresh and fruity yogurts and just given me a plain natural yogurt, which stupidly I managed to feed the floor with, so I'm not happy about that, because if anyone knows, dairy that goes off isn't pleasant, so I'm going to have to get room service in here to clean it. And obviously the muesli. Now, I make my own mueslis. I have nuts in my muesli, and I add coconut. You can add whatever you want in your muesli. And I'm given a banana and apple. Now, the juice I had saved from one of my other meals, and I was given a bottle of water, which I've already put into my drink bottle. Now, when I thought about it, I went, that's right. That's why I started, this is my, where is it? This is my Clean Canteen drink bottle. It's a 1.9 litre bottle. It is insulated, so I can use it in all conditions. So, hot conditions. Eventually it does warm up, so it will keep liquids cool for, several hours, but eventually, just due to the laws of physics, it will eventually warm up to room temperature. That's fine. So after lunch yesterday, I felt, as soon as I saw the food and what it was, yes, sure, it was for me, it was soggy vegetables and soggy corn. I don't care. And it was a chicken wing breast. What do you call that? It doesn't matter. So that was my lunch yesterday, and unwittingly they gave me 2 serves, so I still have the other one. As it was, I pretty much skipped dinner last night because it was congealed rice. I tasted one dish, and Ate some of the dessert, which was unpalatable for me. And I don't like to do it. I had to turf it. But if I'm not going to eat it and I can't throw it out the window to feed the birds, well, it has to, be disposed of. Not ideal. I do loathe to waste food. And I must say, since I've been here in New Zealand, I've wasted a lot of food just purely because I can't eat it, and I can't, there's nobody here to eat it for me. Predominantly, it's easier giving away the sweets because they last a little bit longer than the savory dishes that were being served. Now, I wanted to discuss keto diet. Before I launch into that, I just want to say that the impact of the diet that I have been on since I've been in New Zealand has actually had a physiological impact on me, which has caused psychological issues. So what I had noticed on the weekend, because obviously it had all caught up to me on the weekend, is depression and anxiety. And for those who know me, they would not associate me with those things at all. So excess fat and excess sugar has a detrimental impact, not only physically, so that's in terms of excess weight, but also psychologically. It actually starts to have it starts to affect the brain. So for those of you who suffer from depression and the like, seriously, check your diet. How much sugar have you got in your diet? How much fat have you got in your diet? So the reason why I wanted to speak about the keto diet, I do not like that diet. Unless you are being supervised by a professional, that the keto diet is extremely dangerous. So I have spoken to so many people and they're like, oh yeah, I'm on the keto diet. That seems to be the fad diet at present. People have not learnt that these diets do not work. My entire life I've heard of all the different diets. I've always managed to avoid them. Now, I'm not saying that my diet is the best, because you can definitely poke holes in it, but the keto diet is exceptionally dangerous, and there is a reason for that. So the keto diet, if it is not administered properly, usually means the acceleration of one's metabolism because one is eating less. Now, people think more is better. Well, no. More is not better. So eating less, and a lot less, is not good for your body, because what happens is that the body starts to break down fat, and everyone's like, yeah, well, that's what we want. Yeah, there is a point where that is acceptable, but after a while, not actually after a while, there is a byproduct of ketosis, so the breakdown of fat. The byproduct is called ketone bodies. Now, these ketone bodies are released into your bloodstream, and guess where they go to? I can't think of any place. They go to your brain. Okay? And so the havoc that plays is as I was experiencing on the weekend. So I've been ingesting a lot of excess fat, just purely not by my choice, but because of the situation that I'm in. It's what I'm being served. So I've got all this excess fat going around in my body. My body is not used to producing enough bile to deal with the amount of fat that it's having to process. So of course, there is excess ketone bodies that are being released into my bloodstream, and they go straight to my brain, and they were causing the I wouldn't say it was psychosis, but it was becoming depressive paranoia. And that's very unnormal for me. And I knew, because I know my body, I knew instantly it's because of the food that I was being fed and the fact that it had all caught up to me. And I knew that, and I thought, before, I remember I started to write an email to the restaurant manager, and I thought, no, I'll just handle it. But on the weekend, my mind was just playing tricks on me, and I knew instantly that I had to make that, had to send that email. Now, she called me after breakfast, and we discussed. She asked me, did you like your breakfast? And I went, no, I did not like my breakfast. My breakfast, as you may recall, was the hash browns, 2 bread rolls, scrambled eggs, bacon, and baked beans. Baked beans with sugar in it. The white bread will have sugar in it. It's processed flour. Now, people may think, oh, what's the issue with processed flour and processed sugars and processed food in general? Well, let's be real. What color is wheat? What color is sugar? I'm telling you, it's not white. It's brown. How do they get it to be white? It's because they're bleaching the food. So you are essentially ingesting a poison when you are eating sugar, processed sugar. Now, the raw sugar is fine. There are no chemicals going in it to make it something that it isn't. So if you do need sugar, then please, by all means, try your raw sugars, try your honeys. I'm not a great fan of the taste of these stevias and stuff, or and these whatever those things are called. They're not. I don't know what they are. Sweeteners, artificial sweeteners. As soon as I hear the word artificial in relation to food, well, my brain just goes, ugh. But you got to do what you got to do. If you are partial to sweetness, or you could just try something like, sweet fruit, jams if you really have to. But generally, just be wise about your choices. So that keto diet, unless you are being supervised by a professional, I would err on the side of caution. So if you must try it, then maybe diminish your meals. And what I mean by that is make them smaller. So if you're used to having, say, a full plate of food, maybe just start cutting down on those portion sizes to diminish the amount of, if it's high in fat and high in sugar, for whatever reason, if you're like in my position. So I was skipping meals and throwing them out. That was my way of diminishing the portion sizes. So do something like that before you just start, before you start eliminating food. Now, there is a key to losing weight. You must program your mind first. So you can go on whatever diet you like, but if you haven't programmed your mind to lose the fat, as soon as you start eating, your body's going, because the brain knows how much fat is in your body.
I'm having trouble with the connection.
So, sorry, I don't know why it started speaking to me, but anywho, so the brain actually knows how much fat is in your body. So if you haven't programmed it to tell it, hey, we have too much excess fat, we're going to be losing some, or you can't lose it all. You can, but under extreme conditions. So unless you've programmed your body already, then it doesn't matter what diet you're on, you're just going to go back, because your body is just going to crave what it needs to get back to the status quo. And if the status quo is obese, or if the status quo is it doesn't even have to be obese, but if the status quo is excess fat on your body, then that's when it gets back to eating normally. That's exactly why people bounce back to their previous weight, or worse, more weight, because the body's like, oh my God, I need to stock up just in case I go through another famine. So keto diet, in fact, most diets, unless you have a restriction for whatever reason that is, most diets are actually dangerous. So if you need to lose fat, then program your body first. You tell yourself, I am losing, or I have lost however much. So if you're like morbidly obese and you need to lose 50 kilos, then you start programming yourself, I have lost 50 kilos so that I'm healthy and normal. I would actually make that my my goal. I want to be healthy and normal for me, not healthy and normal for the average person, because the average person, as I recall, for a male is 70 kilos, for a 6-foot male. How many people are 6 foot? So let's be real. So what is normal and healthy for you? Program your mind mentally. And I have made videos about this before, so check those out. But keto diet is a no deal. So as Carolyn would say, no deal, as in the old TV show. It seriously is a no deal unless you're being supervised properly, because what happens is that those ketone bodies, coupled with, like if you've got excess sugar, because some people do substitute, they go, oh, I'll eliminate fat, but I'll increase the sugar. It's the same. This is what it is with diets. Excess food is excess food. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay? There are ideals. It would be excess fiber, so you can help eradicate the, help you move regularly. So the reason why people go, what's the deal about fiber? So the fat actually binds to the fiber and then it is eliminated from the body. So for those people who are eating the processed foods, why is that an issue? Is because there is no real fiber in a lot of the foods. It may be called bread, but it has about as much fiber as cardboard. Cardboard probably has more fiber than the bread that's been sold in the bread buns in McDonald's, and the white breads that are sold at the supermarket. So that's the big deal about fiber. The big deal about fiber is that the fat binds to it and is eliminated from the body. So if you want to lose fat, that's another way that you can do it. Increase your fiber intake, increase your fruit and your vegetables, and eat those more regularly. Your nuts and your dried fruits and anything that is, you don't even have to put it as healthy. How you can look at it as anything that will help you to lose fat. So it's a mindset, because when people think of healthy, they think, I can't do it. That's what healthy people do. That's what all those fitness geeks do. No, just change the perception, change the concept, because this is essentially what I do. Change management, changing the constructs that we have to help augment our lives, because you should know what I know, that if you don't have it here, you don't have it anywhere. Cheers.